Hey, I'm Swan. I'm also going to read a couple of poems around a specific theme. I'm sure you will figure out once I get into it. It's some excerpts of a book that I recently published. It's called Life of a Rainbow, going into the colorful experiences that we can have as humans and kind of unbox ourselves from the black and white, either or, and just really step into the nuance of everything there is to discover. Yeah! Alright, the first one is called A Catalyst for Change. And for the next ones, I'm going to say the titles afterwards, and you will understand why. She enters the reaction unchanged, yet changing all. A molecular dance of transformation, she lowers barriers between what is and what could be, accelerates the inevitable formation, making everyone see. Like platinum splitting water, she breaks the bonds of silence, rearranges what seemed stable into a new occurrence. A catalyst for change, causing commotion so we rearrange. It's the missing element in this equation. She reduces the energy needed to break free from stagnation. She speaks where silence dwells. A truth denied seeks light, rings a bell lets the echo swell. A temporary binding that leaves no trace, except crumbled barriers, a new world for us to embrace. Yet, in the excess of her presence, she can push too far, too fast, accelerate beyond what could last. What was once stable begins to shatter, unintended reactions spiral free. She catalyzes chaos in her haste, leaving a path of destruction as her trace. As a catalyst for change, she's a guide, not the whole ride. Multiplying the points of contact between present and possible, action and acceptable. She shows where there is a path. Each reaction a cobblestone, pressure builds until forms become clear. She fades when we've understood what is important here. In the end, she remains fundamentally herself. As a catalyst for change, she speaks what must happen, then releases back into the flow. She needs to be let go for us to make room, as she's only one part of the process we undergo. We let her transform into what gives life. Love, compassion, bravery, the values we embody. Anger is her name. Courageous love is her heart. As a catalyst for change, she facilitates, not consumes, accelerates what cannot remain. She's simply the start. I'm a furious woman. In the shadow of my anger, a representation of danger. I didn't allow myself to express anger. I would be shunned, told I'm bad, rude or difficult, dismissed, left out, told that I should rather have thought of other people, but rarely of myself. Naturally, that only fueled more anger. Quietly turned inward, gnawing at my self-worth. I kept quiet to keep the peace. But whose peace was I keeping? Certainly not mine. As I carried the weight of every offense inside until it broke me. The silence grew into a black hole inside my chest, swallowing me whole when so often I teetered on the edge, trying to be the best, while feeling nothing at all. Receiving anger made me feel small. There would be yelling and threats and punishments. I was blamed for whatever the other person felt, so I kept my mouth shut, cared for others instead. That was what they wanted, right? Only compliance, only endless apologies were rewarded. Naturally, I learned not to say no anymore, not to trust the signals in my body when something felt off. I was programmed it would lead to trouble. The fears were primal, losing connection, being outcast, shamed or attacked for who I was. Consequentially, whenever something happened, it was often somehow my fault. Yet with distance, I found my anger. My strongest part with the most unwavering love for me, forever fighting for peace in my world, even if I don't see it yet. What I once believed was bad and evil inside of me is what saves me now. What would have saved me then? This is not mine to hold. This is not my fault. I am here. I am me. I'm good by default. A good intention. Have I been angry long enough? Let myself feel all that needs to be felt. Dropped through the layers of hurt, cautiously tapped into the space of grief. Forgiveness comes from within. It's not a self-imposed chore. A gentle release, not a task to perform. When I am ready, I will know. It will align with my own soul's flow. To let go of a hurt that was caused by you, I drop deeper within into empathy and compassion. Nurture and understanding for how you've been. Forgiving and forgetting is not the same thing. We created a new reality. Possibilities are waiting on forgiving others. Thank you.